Hey everyone, it's Anthony here at Talk and Review, and today's video is going to be a review on the much loved around the fragrance community, Bentley for Men Intense. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, do yourself a favour, subscribe. So Bentley for Men Intense, this is one that I picked up just before Christmas. I got this and a few others, so I've had some time to get to know it and get used to it, so I just want to share with you guys what my thoughts are and whether or not I think this is worth you going out and getting it. So we'll just take a quick look at the presentation in terms of the box before we get into the actual bottle. I really enjoyed these Bentley presentation boxes. They're just really classy, really elegant. The kind of like rose gold feel to this one. I do have another Bentley for Men Azure, and that's pretty much the same but blue. I just think they look really classy. And in terms of presentation of the bottle, I really enjoy it. Really, really weighty, really well put together, and it just looks really elegant. So before we get into what my thoughts are about it, you can get this pretty much at any kind of discounters. I think I got this from Latino and I picked it up for like 28 quid. So a really, really good price, a real cheapie. And for 100ml, it's an absolute bargain. I think if you shop around, you can get it for a little bit cheaper, but 28 quid for 100ml, I can't really grumble at that. So this is one I've been wanting to try out for some time now, and I was told that if you want to get into kind of like boozy, strong fragrances, then this is one that you can pick up for relatively cheap. So it's not going to cost you an arm and leg to try it out. So let's have a look at what this fragrance is comprised of. So in the top, you've got black pepper, bay leaf, and bergamot. So in the mid, you've got rum, lots and lots of rum, woods, cinnamon, clary sage and geranium, and in the base you've got incense, leather, benzoin, patchouli and cedar. So the big question is, what does this fragrance smell like? In the opening I get a really nice sweet rum that's got healthy amounts of rum in it, but I also get a leather note. Now the leather is supposed to be in the base, but I get it right in my face right away, but it's almost kind of like this suede type of leather. It's not like a rough, dirty leather. It's really quite suede, quite smooth, and mixed in with the rum, you get this really sweet opening, to my nose anyway. This is by no means a sweet fragrance. It's definitely not sweet, but the different elements to it have different levels of sweetness that I think enhance everything else, like the sweet rum enhancing the leather feel to it, because the leather can be quite harsh. Because there is a sweetness to the rum, it elevates that leather note to make it a little bit more appealing, because it could be quite strong without the sweetness of that rum. And once that kind of settles into your skin, I get this really strong incensey kind of vibe from it, but it's not a really smoky incensey. It's just quite a dulled down incense. And then once it dries down, I get this really creamy, woody feel from it. So there's definitely elements of the woods that you can tell in the dry down, but for me, once it's fully dried down, I get this really creamy vibe. Now I'm not too sure where that comes from. I don't know if the cedar is something to do with that, but the woods element of it is quite prominent in the dry down. But like I said, it's really creamy, feels really smooth, and I personally prefer the dry down much more than I do the opening. It's not to say that I don't like the opening. I think overall the opening on this is very nice, but I think the dry down is much nicer, has much more of a smooth, it appeals to my taste better, I would say. But overall though, this is a powerhouse of a scent. This is going to project like an absolute monster. It lasted on me for about 12 hours, probably longer than 12 hours, but at the 12-hour mark it was still there. In terms of who can wear this, this is definitely not for everyone, and I know that I'm not alone when I say that this is not for everyone. This feels very elegant, it feels very classy, but at the same time, because of the heaviness of the rum, it almost kind of feels a little bit rebellious. So you do get kind of like a shirt and tie CEO vibe from it, because it is very gentlemanly, it's very sophisticated, it's very grown up, it's a very grown up fragrance. But on the flip side of that, because of the heaviness of the rum, it's almost kind of like this CEO is on his Christmas party and he's had one too many Sailor Jerry's. So there's two sides to this coin really. There's the sophisticated, CEO type suit and tie, grown up, well put together, well groomed, well dressed man, because I would say this is very masculine. And the other side is kind of like the drunken sailor almost. And to me, it just means that this fragrance feels like it's got a little bit more character to it. It means that you can get away with it in multiple occasions, and it's not just something because of its strength and its power that you can only reserve for one occasion. It's one that you could wear down the pub, you can wear out on a night out, but you can also wear it to a formal occasion. I think you'll probably have to be a little bit more conservative in terms of what you're spraying and how you're spraying it if you're going to a formal event, but it suits multiple occasions. So I would very much classify this as quite a versatile fragrance in the right setting, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Why not? That being said, I don't think this is going to appeal to a younger audience, simply because it's not very sweet. It knows what it is. It's very unapologetic about what it is, and it's not trying to be something else. And I think that's what's quite nice about this. It's definitely not trying to attract a youthful audience, because I don't necessarily think a 20 or 21-year-old is necessarily going to get on with this simply because of what is on the market at the moment that appeals to 20 and 21-year-olds. So you're probably looking 30 plus in terms of who is probably going to be looking to purchase this and like this. That's not to say a younger person wouldn't like this, but I think it's more for an adult audience rather than a younger adult audience. You know what I mean. But overall, I've been really enjoying this. I've been wearing it quite a bit throughout January and will continue to wear it whilst the colder weather is here. I don't think that it's going to be suited for summer weather just because of the strength of it, so it's definitely going to be one that I'm going to be wearing a lot more whilst we have this colder weather. So that was our review for Bentley for Men Intense. Have you tried this fragrance? Do you own it? Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button, and we would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel for any future content that we put out. We do have many reviews coming out in the future, so if you hit the bell notification, you'll get notified of those as and when they come out. We also run our weekly live streams, and we update social media as to when that will be. It's either on a Friday or a Sunday, but if you check us out on Instagram, which you can find here, we'll let you know where and when. But in the meantime, peace!